Hello, I can't see you guys. Are you there?
Yeah, we here.
Or am I just hearing voices and need to go and consult somebody about this?
No, please. That's not the stage yet. That's really not the stage.
You good?
Things are heating up in Crimea. Ooh-wee.
Did you say Crimea River?
Crimea. No, the road to Crimea, that bridge that connects the two to Russia. There's been some big explosions there this morning.
But isn't that
You have to move over a little bit. You get a little bit closer.
like this?
Yeah.
Like this. Okay, but
Yeah,
isn't
you gotta sit on my lap.
No wonder I can't see you guys. This is getting provocative.
No, it's not gonna go that way. Trust me, it's not. It's not.
You say that now. Don't fight it. I mean, if it's natural, it just happens. It's okay.
Oh, that's
Who are
funny.
we to judge?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. No, I know there's gonna be very little judgment. No, but on a more serious note, isn't there like a land bridge now?
Okay, before we do that, why don't we just jump into the episode?
Let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
Can you hear the music this time?
Yes, but I can't see you guys.
Oh, we're coming.
Oh,
Like
I
roundabout now.
We're transitioning.
Ah!
We're transitioning. We just officially transitioned.
Okay, guys,
you
it's
guys are close up
episode
today.
92. It's let's make it a good one.
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Why are you guys so close? Zoom out a bit.
We just,
I've
that's
only got
as
little
far as
screen,
I
but
can
you are
zoom,
filling
dude.
it.
that I don't know what you're referring to, but we're really close friends.
Yeah, that's perfect.
A little bit further.
Yeah, back a bit. Go sit on the
Back a
bike.
bit, yeah, I guess.
It would be quite funny if we do it that way, like interested in the bike.
Right. Here we are. Thanks for the
Hello.
coffee sponsored
Salute.
by
Salute.
Salute.
Seattle.
Salute.
That is correct. That is the correct answer. It's
These
Seattle.
guys are going to have to start
He
paying
hasn't
for
even
us
tried
soon.
it yet. Like,
Listen, dude. I always know it's good.
Well, I went out and got some coffee, and it's very mediocre.
Oh, really?
In fact, I'm being kind.
Are you being kind?
is it like Lester? Like on a coffee level, is it like coffee?
No, it's below that.
No way.
It's basically
Nothing can be below
hot
coffee.
water with a bit of flavoring. Some, you know, if you leave a cold coffee jar, with the granules, and you leave it there in the cupboard for a year, and it goes hard, and you chip away at it. It's like they put that chipped away granules from a year ago into some hot water and let it dissolve. So there's something in
that's
there,
rough. That's rough.
but it's bitter and weak.
Okay.
It's like going to ferment for a bit or what?
I'm sorry. I think you
I
switched
mean,
off
if
the
I
mic.
start,
No, why?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Can you hear yourself?
No, I'm not on that stage yet.
Hearing voices in your head.
I'm not on the stage of hearing voices and seeing dead people.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
that's what you think. You've been talking to us for 92 episodes.
Can you imagine how freaky it would be? Like, can you imagine how freaky it would be? So, like, the reason why I'm mentioning that, I sent the movie recommendation to Andrew last week, right?
Yeah.
And it was the movie that most likely he wouldn't really enjoy because it's about these two girls climbing a telecommunication tower in the US. In the US. And it was like, it's like that thing is literally higher than the Eiffel Tower. I mean, just to give you an idea of scale, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was my movie suggestion for Andrew.
Do you know what amazes me? I mean, he's not going to like that. So it's good send, good share. But those guys wear PPE equipment, right? So harnesses and hard hats. Why do they wear a high-vis vest? I mean, who's going to run into them?
Like which guys? The guys that actually climb those
The guys
towers.
that go up the towers, yeah.
Okay, like
The standard issue is with a high-vis vest.
I think it's just like overall like engineering type requirements. But for the climbers, you don't need to wear like a high-vis vest.
I mean, you can go up in your budgie smugglers.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
budgie smugglers.
Exactly.
And for all the people that don't understand what a budgie smuggler is, it's a
swimming costume for men.
down under.
A very
Yeah.
typically manufactured by Speedo.
Yes, it is a speedo.
So anyway, I know you guys are not gonna watch that movie, but the spoiler moment is like
He falls off.
one of the girl dies, but then like due to PTSD, the other girl keeps on seeing her friend like just guiding her through the whole experience. It was pretty cool.
The whole movie is just about people falling through the air. Just replay it.
Yeah, well,
This
But
is
it
one
was
way
like-
to get over your fear of heights.
Can I be honest with you? Like cinematography was pretty intense. I don't have a fear of heights, but like the cinematography.
But you do now.
It was filmed. It's like my palms at some stage started sweating, and I'm like, "Why are my palms sweating?" It's like, and then
COVID.
no, no. And then it's like, wow, it's like you realize it's actually the cinematography makes it pretty realistic and pretty cool. I just like the way the whole movie filmed. I don't think Andrew would appreciate that.
no.
I don't know.
I think we should have a
gonna have
movie night. I should have a movie night and watch that.
He's going to
Alex,
have to come to terms with this at some point.
yeah, I think we gotta start small, like on the couch, right?
Well, you got. I mean, if you think back, right, your team building exercise in your workplace, where Andrew had to go to a small height, that's already done. He's already done the base layer. It's successful.
Yeah,
He embraced it. He did it, and now you just need to up it a bit. Maybe just. I don't know if you guys have got it. In the UK, it's called Go Ape. Basically, a whole bunch of bridges and ropes between trees. And there's a whole course that you have to complete through this forest.
yeah.
That's probably his next step.
No, we can do like what do you call it? No, it's
Zip line.
zip lining, yeah.
Yeah, I've done that.
But I don't think Andrew has issues with zip lining. I mean,
I think
Well,
when
it
I feel
doesn't matter what he does in
safe-
zip lining. He's going to get there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he can even close his eyes and just enjoy the ride and enjoy the wind.
When you say enjoy,
yeah, define enjoy.
he endures it. He completes the task.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Andrew, are your hands sweating yet?
No. If so, it's because
coffee.
of the coffee, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
got it.
so like jumping into the episode, the biggest news: Musk is finally buying Twitter.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah,
I saw that he was.
you guys look shocked.
Well, I suppose. Nothing surprises
Yeah.
me.
I mean, it was going to go one of two ways. This battle would continue indefinitely,
Yep.
or you would just go, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
Okay, let's do it.
He did make the front page of some newspapers here, and I think the caption was, "Are you not entertained?" Where is it? Where did I see it?
What was that about?
It was on the front page of Financial Times Weekend, and he was quoted as saying, "Aren't you entertained?" That's right up there with "Let them eat cake." I mean, that's just wrong.
We've just been joined by Lee from Canada.
Lee, how's it
Hey
going?
Lee, how's it going? Hope
How's it
the
going?
family's well. I hope the little bambino is doing well.
Belated.
Thanks for joining.
Belated congrats to Jan.
Yeah. I always see these photos of them sitting next to the lake. It's not fair.
It's either that or the busy skiing
Yeah.
or snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
Basically, they're homeless because they're always outdoors. Do you ever see them indoors?
Yeah. Occasionally.
Okay.
Only when we go visit.
Only we'll go visit. Yeah.
Not
How do you know
that
it's
that's
their house?
often.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Canada on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
Well, let's move the podcast to Vancouver. Let's go.
Well, yeah, well,
I think Vancouver's too extreme.
yeah, that's too expensive.
What?
I think
I
it's too
can't.
extreme.
I mean, it is
I
half
can't
a
afford
planet
it.
away from where you are.
Yeah.
I
just a
think
little bit.
I think nobody except the Royals can afford it.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if they're in Vancouver now, but
I'm not even sure they can afford it.
So we were talking about what was the headline and
So,
what
yeah.
was the reason for the headline with Elon Musk.
Well, it just on the front. I was just saying on the front page of the Financial Times Weekend edition. There's a little caricature of Elon Musk, and it says, "Aren't you entertained?" Suggesting he's just messing around. He's bored.
But bored with what? Like, is that the whole Twitter takeover?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This whole
Cool.
saga around Twitter.
The whole
There's
saga
a whole
around
bunch
Twitter.
of birds in the background of this picture.
Oh no, that's awesome.
And they're not pigeons that.
Well, none have been shot down. They're all taking off. So
Okay.
that's a good sign. It's positive. There's no bloodshed.
But I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think he's got an idea to take Twitter beyond Twitter. And I mean, he wouldn't have.
What does that mean? I mean, this is the question we had last time we talked
Yeah.
about it. What does he want to do with it?
I
All
think
his other businesses are successful, and they're quite, they're more engineering kind of industries.
Mhm.
What's he going to do here? This is a communication platform.
Well,
Where does he want to take it?
Yeah, I think he's got an issue with all the bots that are in there and the way that it's used and abused.
Yeah,
And he's got some ideas on how to
solve that problem.
how to fix that. Yeah.
Combat it.
Yeah. So there was
Or
another guy
manipulate
that
it.
was chatting to him about creating a new Twitter rival, if you want to call it. So if Elon's going ahead and buying Twitter, I wonder if they're going to take their ideas and amalgamate them.
Yeah, that's close.
Combine
yeah,
them.
That's close.
Well,
That's
I hope he does. I mean, how much has Twitter actually changed?
Hasn't changed
you know,
much.
So maybe this is the chance to reinvent it as a communication platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose you look at other social media apps that are constantly adding new features, generally the same features, but one, goes ahead and then the other ones follow. Like TikTok, then all of a sudden Instagram's doing Reels, YouTube's doing Shorts. But Twitter hasn't really made any sort of like technology changes in recent times, has it?
Not
Not
really.
that I know of.
Not really. No.
I wonder how they stay relevant.
I actually barely use Twitter because Twitter is a very angry platform. Like it's extremely angry platform, right? It's not like Instagram, right? I think Instagram is pretty chilled. Facebook, somewhere in between. But I would generally just use for Twitter to look out for alerts, weather, I don't know, load shedding.
Twitter,
Load shedding.
Load shedding.
Eskim's a
Facebook.
push.
Yeah, but Twitter sometimes is useful to report outage. Like if you have an outage in the area and you can just tweet the city power and then say, guys, what's happening.
Does someone answer you?
it's not going to survive, guys,
Okay.
in
Is
its
that a
current
bot?
state. Think about what the kids are using. They're not using the Facebooks and Twitter so much anymore. They're using other communication platforms.
TikTok.
So
I mean, what happened to Snapchat?
what happens?
I think Snapchat is still big.
Yeah, well,
It's also going out of fashion.
yeah. I don't
Believe
really
it or
hear
not,
my
that was
girls talk
going out of
about
fashion already.
Snapchat as much as yes. You know that Snapchat brought out their own drone. A Snapchat drone, yeah, so that you can take I don't know, drone
Look at
footage.
me filming myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like an extreme selfie.
yeah,
Can I just do a disclaimer?
yeah.
I think Snapchat was never really that big in the West, like in Western Europe and North America. Maybe it had a peak surge, but I think it's huge in the Eastern Asia.
Yeah.
Snapchat is absolutely huge in Asia, and we're talking about.
I wonder why.
We're talking about. I don't think just Asia. I think in Africa as well and Middle East.
But isn't Snapchat like a Canadian company or something?
I think it's Chinese.
Let's have a look.
Let's ask Lee.
Lee,
Lee, do you know?
do you have an inside?
Are they proud?
So while he's searching that, Oleg, did Andrew tell you that he came across my TikTok this week?
You did a TikTok? No. Are you like a big?
Randomly, because I wasn't linked with him, and the content of his videos is not something that comes up in my algorithm. But randomly, this algorithm has put the two of us together on TikTok. That was weird. I'm like, hang on, I know this guy.
You joking?
California.
And yes, he had a drone, and he was doing a drone selfie.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you're saying is my TikTok appeared on your For You page. But I mean,
Yeah.
we do follow one another, don't we? Don't I follow you? You follow me?
I don't know. I do now. I
Did you
don't
know
if I
that
was
you've got
before.
2 TikTok accounts?
Yeah, because one's my
Okay.
mobile and one's my iPad.
Yeah.
You didn't use the same account on both devices.
Mate, I think the one on the phone I only had because somebody sent me a link to go and watch, and I was like, I might as well just install the app, and that was it.
Yeah,
I didn't create accounts or anything.
Because you can use your cell phone number, right? You can log in.
I don't link anything with phone numbers. Ooh. Never shall the data merge.
Yeah, never.
You're just complicating Snapchat, not Snapchat, TikTok's live. TikTok's live in terms of tracing who you are and pitching you stuff based on your interest.
I want to see if this algorithm works, so I'm gonna go on both devices, and at some point the same videos will come up.
yeah.
Then we know it works.
The
But you see
streams will merge.
The thing is that it's like scraping your contacts on your phone, even though you think it's not. I don't know. I don't know how it does it.
They can, because I've given everyone false names on my phone contacts.
Machine learning. It's machine learning. Machine learning and data analytics on a big scale. But guys, just moving on to other news. I don't know if you saw Elon and Tesla unveiled their first prototype robot.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
I heard about it. There was something about that robot. Oh, it's got opposable thumbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a first robot preview. I mean, I think in terms of like robotics, it's a like really good step forward. And then they unveiled basically stage 2 of development, but that wasn't complete because that robot wasn't walking around and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Instead, it was driving a car,
No.
flipping the bird to other drivers.
Jeez. How's that for autonomous driving? You've got a robot that's driving the car.
Well, to be fair, I mean, we've seen a few of these videos with the self-driving cars.
Yeah.
And people getting freaked out because there's no driver. Kind of need to put some sort of crash test dummy in there or something. So maybe there is a place for these Tesla robots.
I have a bad idea. Antonio Banderas blow up doll.
Blow up doll.
No, you know, from like a used car sales lot where they got those things that
Yeah.
blow in the wind. That's what you need. With the windows open. Woo!
Yeah.
Talking about robots, I saw a TikTok of one of these Boston Dynamic dogs walking around. I think it was Durban city center, and the guy's outside, filming out the window of his car and going, "There's a robot dog walking down the street." I don't know who was chaperoning the dog. Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't get jacked.
What's the robot?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Surprised it didn't get jacked.
Jeez, can you imagine?
Yeah, it strolled into Warwick Triangle and ended up hanging up in the market stalls next to all the goats' heads. Yeah.
Like with all its innards stripped out, huh?
Yeah, exactly that. Flies all over it.
Yeah. For sale on Facebook Marketplace.
One used dog.
By the original owner.
Yeah. Jeez, no, that's crazy. Well, and then, moving on to Formula One. There's been some developments in Formula One. So, as of this morning, it is official that Gasly will be moving to Alpine.
Wow.
And Eric De Vries will be joining AlphaTauri. So that's I think that's going to be pretty cool because I think De Vries did prove his worth by climbing into the Williams and finishing in the points in his first race. Yeah, so that's great. I don't know what's going to happen to old Schumacher because, he had a bit of an accident yesterday in practice. So they're saying unnecessary. So I don't know if he's putting more nails in the coffin or because I think he's driving well. I think they should give him another year.
Slow start. Exactly that. He's had a slow start, unlucky start to the year, but he has proven his worth since then. The middle half of the season. But
I was listening to Jean Alesi today. He was saying that the reality is last year they didn't have a decent car. So can you really measure Schumacher? Because, I mean, today he qualified higher than his teammate. So what does that mean? You know, I mean, how does that stack up in terms of, okay, well,
maybe he does
keep
need to
him?
go to another formula, then come back stronger.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, you know, there's just there's so few spots in Formula One to get back into Formula One.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's so many other guys in the wings, you know, waiting to come.
No, go. And then, you know, I was going to say Vettel was going to retire next year, but he's retiring this year.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, the
I'll
thing
scrap
is,
that idea.
but the other thing is that, like, you take Tsunoda, who's AlphaTauri, and he's not doing that great either. And he's got a better car, but he's not doing that great either. But they're still keeping him because he's Japanese and they've got a Honda and
It's become a marketing thing.
yeah,
You need the money.
So it's a pity that it's not on pure driving. It's also about who you know and what you know.
While we're here talking about this,
I know. Don't do it.
Do you think, hypothetically speaking?
Yeah, hypothetically.
Do you think we need to bring back Bernie Ecclestone into F1 to sort it out?
No, he's too old.
maybe we need to create
Sir Bernie
robot.
Ecclestone.
No, but the Americans have got control of Formula One now.
Yeah.
You know, the Americans are going to make it bigger and better.
You think so?
Well, I mean, they have.
Oh, yeah, we've already
the
got
last
3
couple of
Grand Prix
years.
in America.
Yeah.
And how did they go? Like,
Well,
they're like
Yeah.
well
Yeah, no,
attended,
listen.
well watched.
it's big news, dude.
Okay,
I mean, it's
cool.
big stuff in the USA. And I mean, they're predominantly NASCAR and Indy and that kind of stuff.
So it's taking off as a sport.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you do street circuit racing,
Mm.
they can move that around because there's a few places
Well,
that would
I
just
mean,
embrace it.
like,
over and above
Miami
their-
was
their-
bigger.
Miami was big, Gee, but that's hot and sticky. It's like doing it in Durban beachfront.
Or like Singapore. Did you watch the race last week?
No, I didn't. And I'm glad
It was a good
the
race.
results.
A good
I'm
race
glad the
to
result
watch.
ended up like it was.
Mm.
Lots of accidents because it's a street circuit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Verstappen
good
didn't
fun to
secure
watch.
his championship, but he might this week. He's in pole now for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's it. And he's in Japan. Honda. He takes the championship tomorrow. That'll be great.
Oh dear.
It's going to
Timing-
be really big in Japan, right?
Yeah, big in Japan. That reminds me
Have
of
I
a song,
told you
eh?
guys that the last time I went to Japan, I wore a big T-shirt and it had on it, "Big in Japan."
And did you get any reaction?
Not to the T-shirt, but this is the one where I bumped into a sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
Have I told you the story?
No.
No, please
This is
tell us.
interesting. This is interesting.
Please tell us.
Well, okay. I mean,
He challenged you.
the average size of the Japanese person is a lot smaller than me. So all the shops, the aisles tend to be closer and not as high. It's that kind of thing. So when I think I was in Tokyo main train station, I popped into a little convenience shop there to buy some water or whatever it was. And it's busy. It's a busy place, the train station. And so I've got my backpack on and I'm not small. I fill the aisle. So somebody was coming towards me to try and get out the shop. And I'm like, okay, I'll make way. And I kind of turned to the side and backed off until I hit what I thought was a pillar. Let the person through. Fine. And then the pillar moved. And I was like, ooh. And I turned around and I'd only gone and backed off and thought that into the sumo wrestler guy who didn't move until too late. So yeah, I turned around and looked up. He wasn't just wider than me, he was taller than me. And yeah, he dressed in traditional slippers and gown because I don't think they can get clothes their size over there. But yes, the look on his face, I thought I was going to die.
What did he like get down and like started challenging you to the
Well,
fight?
you do what you do in these situations. You kick them on the balls and you run. No, I obviously did the whole of apologizing profusely as I backed off and bumped into somebody else and knocked stuff off shelves. But yeah,
No, that's really
That
cool.
was
That's
weird.
really cool. That's really cool. How do you say I'm sorry in Japanese?
You just, the Westerners shouldn't do the whole bowing thing, absolutely, because we just mess it up.
Yeah.
But from what I know, the lower you get when you bow, the more apologetic you are, and that's exactly what I was doing.
Okay,
What, lying on the ground?
As I do the worm out of the shop. Break dance out.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually an awesome story. I'm really glad you didn't challenge him to like a face-off type of thing in the ring, because that could have went badly.
Even though I'm not as athletic as I used to be, I reckon I could beat him over 50 meters.
Yes.
That's what I should have challenged him to.
Yeah. Would have been quite embarrassing if you had lost.
That's
Silence.
a story for another day.
Yeah, silence.
So going back to Formula One, the Weekend Craic Formula One Fantasy League. Just the results from last week. I had the most points last week. 2 points behind me, and this wasn't my best team. This was my second team, and this is why I'm not catching Oleg overall, because my main team is just not firing on all cylinders. Oleg's top team was in second. My top team was in third, but way behind on the points. So Oleg's top team is just making that gap at the top bigger and bigger. And it's obviously the Oleg and Leicester race.
Yeah.
What's happening with Andrew's teams?
Fucking last and last.
Well, the good thing is, let's put some positives. He needs a change. The fourth highest scoring points was the Bearded Fans Team 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Oleg, he beat two of your teams.
Wow.
I can't add to this. It's just scraping the barrel. But take some positives.
Thanks. I humbly acknowledge you.
Yeah, let's not talk about your team 3 only scoring 14 points for the whole week.
Wow.
That whole team needs a new captain. They needs to be fired. New drivers, new everybody, new principals. That's shocking. 14 points.
Can I say something in my defense?
No. It's not going to work.
No,
It's just going to be ridiculed.
It's just going to get worse.
You can try.
Nah, it's
Share
fine.
entertainment value.
Nah, it's fine. Thanks, guys. I feel very...
You've got Verstappen in some of your teams. He's on pole, so at least you got a
some
chance.
Some points. Yeah. I haven't even looked at my team since I chose them right in the beginning.
Nor's Oleg.
Nor was Oleg.
No, I did have a look, but I didn't have a look since...
So you didn't change anything?
I didn't change anything, no.
Jeez, I was hoping that I was going to get a bit of a reprieve there, but obviously not.
I think by the end of the season, your team is most likely going to be like 5 and 6, because my teams will overtake, and it's going to be me and Leicester in the top 6 spots, and then
I'll be in the last 3.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, can we change the subject now? No. Okay.
Your top team is actually catching my worst team. So
That
you make
doesn't
it
mean
6.
anything.
I've looked at this, guy, and I think we should have just stuck with the original teams that we put in. I have tweaked it, and it's been pointless, literally.
I haven't.
I just don't see how you can change, because the values don't fluctuate that much. So if you take somebody out, you can't really replace them with anything that's going to make a massive change.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I've kind of given up making changes.
Okay.
There we go.
Better luck next year, Marsh.
Andrew, don't stress. There's a light in the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and it's the train. Yeah. Anyway, let's move over to crypto.
What's happening in the crypto space?
Well, besides the fact that it's not worth crypto mining anymore, like literally,
Jack.
you are losing.
Money.
Like, so I looked at my setup.
Yeah.
And I went to what to mine and said, okay, what's my profitability? I'm losing $1.50
Per hour.
Well, per day.
Per
Sorry,
day.
per
Okay.
day.
But that's not bad.
No, when you're you're losing $1 a day. Okay. So, you're losing money.
Yeah,
if you're mining.
but it's not that much, so you can actually leverage, like your position is still mined through this time.
Okay, but you understand that you paying for your electricity.
Yeah.
A couple of grand a month.
Yeah.
Plus you're losing money on top of that.
Yeah. So it's not even like at the break-even point.
No. Not at all. So, yeah, it is a bit of a problem. So, I don't know what's going to happen for mining.
Plus, you can't mine Ether anymore, right?
Yeah,
so you have to do all the altcoins.
Yeah, so
Oh dear.
Ravencoin, it's starting early today, guys. Ravencoin, what's the other one? Ergo, Flux, those kind of coins. But not making profit.
Wow.
I mean,
Should I tell you now that Bitcoin has actually, in the last month, gone up 1%? I mean, it's not with the dizzying heights that it was some time ago. And yes, everything's plummeting.
Yeah.
But if I look at the trend over a month, Bitcoin is actually 1% up. Is this the rationalization we need across all the cryptocurrencies?
Well, look, I mean, it is definitely a bear market. There's no doubt about that. How long it's going to last is another question. Yeah, we'll see.
Wait and see.
Yeah, hang on to what you've got if you can. In my case,
I don't think there's much choice.
Not mining, but I'm hanging on to my equipment. Because, I mean, if you try and sell your equipment now, you're not getting good prices for it anyway. So you might as well just hang on. But if you've got spare cash, now's a good time to buy graphics cards.
Are they available again?
Yeah, they're available.
Yeah.
Generally, looking at secondhand. Like, you don't really want to buy new. Buy secondhand. I'm sure there are lots of guys out there that have borrowed money to build mining rigs that now have to sell them quickly to cover their costs. So I think you could pick up some decent graphics cards for good prices, and then just wait until the turn, and then just climb on the bandwagon. And when it starts breaking even, then start mining and get the coin, because also the profitability for the amount of resources that you're using on the graphics card is higher than it was before. Even though you're not making the money, you're earning the coin. So it's the strategy I would go with if you can afford it. Yeah. Yes, and then on the other hand, you'll remember a couple of months ago there was a cryptocurrency, Terra, that the guy ran away with the money, and they've been looking for him. I think it was in May.
It's Doc One.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to.
I think Terra Labs or something. Terra.
Yeah, Terra.
What was his company called? Terraform Labs.
Something like
Okay.
Yeah. So he's been charged with over a $60 billion cryptocurrency collapse. And it's quite interesting because he's South Korean, and in South Korea, cryptocurrencies are not legal. So I wonder where he was operating out of.
I think US.
Yeah.
North Korea.
North Korea.
No. I don't think anything is legal in North Korea.
In North Korea. Oh, no. Yeah, so it looks like he's still on the run, but he is talking to authorities through some lawyers. But I mean, like, hey, what's going to happen there? Yeah.
I think he's going to run away to a country where there's no extradition.
Yeah,
Take a
who's
guess
going
which
to
one.
Ecuador?
No, not Ecuador, but like take a guess which country that's going to be.
I don't know.
That's pretty close to South Korea that has no
North Korea.
extradition. No, I don't think it's that crazy. But there's another country that doesn't have an extradition to South Korea.
Do
The Vatican City.
No, but it's not close to South Korea, guys.
Oh,
It's a
like
big
I
country.
almost said something there about the Vatican. I decided not to.
No, don't get cancelled yet.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go to China.
China.
Yeah. That's my bad.
Maybe. No, it looks like they even want to freeze his passport, so he won't even be able to travel.
Well, once he's in China, he can use his leverage to get a Chinese passport and get a new identity. Yeah. It's done.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask something now. It's left my mind. Nah, gone. Gone like the wind.
Gone.
Jeez.
The
Talking
Terra
about-
currency, as a matter of interest,
Yeah.
was actually going to link with a standardized commodity, right? So 100 Terra would be equal to 1 barrel of oil. So the value of the Terra would be linked with things like oil or mineral or food, and it could never deflate because it's kind of inflation resistant because it's linked with these commodities.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting concept.
I think the concept
So-
is good. I think.
Well,
the
I
concept
mean,
is
it's a
good.
concept that they used before that they moved away from back in the day
Yeah,
in the
but
70s. But
1930s, they were talking about this.
Yeah. But I mean, the
But
thing
yeah,
is that
we've come a long way since then.
Yeah, they de-linked the currencies from gold in the 70s.
Actually, in South Africa case, South Africa only went off the gold standards in the 60s.
In 1960s.
1960s, yeah.
I think America was 1970, yeah.
I think America was 1930s.
De-link from gold.
100
Nixon's
Terra is
decision
about
to
a tenth
de-link.
of an ounce
So
of
they would have
gold.
been 70s.
Also 70s.
It's to see Richard Nixon informed the world that the US would no longer honor its commitment to the exchange US dollars for gold on demand. The commitment had been the foundation of the international monetary system since 1944. Conference established to regulate the international financial order after the conclusion of the Second World War. Yeah, 1971. They de-linked. Yeah. So, but I see Russia's thinking of going that route again, eh? Apparently they've been buying up gold.
Not just Russia, China as well.
Okay.
So the interesting thing about China is nobody really knows how much gold they have because
Right.
they don't publish their reserves.
And
We
they've
know-
got lots of mountains to hide it in.
They have a lot of, well, like, for example, say UK, US publishes its reserves, right? I think US,
They do publish numbers, but who checks the numbers?
I think in UK it is audited. I'm not sure like what happens in the US, but I think in UK it is audited. And obviously in Switzerland it's also audited. They have to audit it once a year. I think US has over 8,000 tons. Nobody knows how much China has, and nobody knows how much Russia has. But yeah, there's an interesting tendency of moving away because of this economic crisis that's currently unfolding, and this break in relationship between Russia and the West. There's an interesting thing unfolding in the markets in terms of, I'm not sure, some people speculating that this will lead to market segmentation in terms of, complete separation. I mean, when Saudis are toying with the idea of basically adopting local currencies as payments for crude. I mean, if Saudis are thinking about moving away from US dollar in payments, that will destroy the US dollar status as a reserve currency. And if it does go that way, even if it happens over like the next 10, 20 years, it's going to be big problems.
Well, it's a wait and see game.
Yeah, but I did see there was a news OPEC meeting saying they're going to cut close to 1.5 billion barrels of production per day, which take into account that US have drained the SPR and they have 20 days in strategic petroleum reserve left. That means that the oil price is going to be on the severe upward trajectory. I know it's not a good news for the US and Europe. We get our oil at discount. What's
Did
happening?
you? Anything? Have you seen the diesel price in South Africa?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
It's way higher than the
But isn't 25 rand a litre?
petrol. Yeah, it's over 25, but unleaded is at 23. Diesel,
Our prices have come down a
Price.
little bit.
yeah,
Our
but
prices
not,
have
but
come
not,
down and
but
then
not
gone up again.
diesel. Diesel hasn't come down. Not that I saw. 26 liters.
26 rand.
26 rand.
Litre, yeah.
Yeah, baby. That's because everyone's using diesel for flipping generators. Well,
Yeah.
not everybody, but a large number of people.
Yeah,
So load shedding is finished for now.
for now.
For now.
There was a thing announced in the UK this week because of the energy crisis that the UK is expecting some load shedding
That's
in
horrible,
these
dude.
winter months.
That is horrible.
Then the Prime Minister came in and said, no, that's not going to happen, boys. Sort it out. So we'll see. Yeah. Yes, there's a
Crazy.
crisis, but don't just fall back on, it is what it is. No, make a plan, boys. I'm intrigued. It's been like 60 years since the last load shedding in the UK.
Really?
Something like that.
Wow.
So why is it finished for you guys?
I don't know.
I mean, it's been going on for so long. It's now tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, like we feel uncomfortable now because we don't have load shedding. Like,
You're
what's
still
going on?
waiting for it.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
You're waiting for it to black out any second, and then you go, "Oh, that's better."
We're talking about
So
load
I can fill you guys in. Well, according to my limited knowledge, we're obviously spending a lot of money in the maintenance and repairs of our thermal power stations that work on coal, that basically run on coal. And these are the power stations that sort of balance the load, national load, because just so you know that South Africa has basically got a single unified electrical grid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have a certain load balancing factor, you know, in terms of the amount of power present in that energy grid. I think that maintenance program, in terms of bringing all like 52 thermal power stations online, going to carry on for the next 5 years. In terms of having every single power station pumping out load, I think in addition to that, there's been over 160 renewable projects that were green lighted this year. And that's in addition to already like about 600 renewable energy projects that we green lighted over the last.
I mean, absolutely, and I've seen the same information coming through on my news streams about all these projects that have been invested in, but they take a long time. Some of them, yeah. It's going to be a long time before you see the benefits of them.
No, not really. So like I'm involved in a lot of work for thermal power. For solar power. And like a turnaround time for a solar power station from like EIA to supplying the first power to commercial customers through the grid is about 2 years. It's actually pretty quick. It's amazing how quick it is.
What about the actual manufacture of the panels? Is there not a shortage on key ingredients for them?
No, it all comes from China. All comes
Where
from
they
China.
have unlimited reserves.
Well, it all comes from China. Like most of our stuff, most of our panels come directly from China, and we have like just a steady supply line. I spoke to a couple of guys in that field. It's like there's absolutely no shortage of like panels or equipment or even like large scale industrial battery packs. Not quite the Tesla's like great, but still enough to actually store some power when the sun is not available. In addition to that, we also building up quite a lot of wind power stations.
Thank you. Not just wind, building up a lot of wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for the conclusion of that statement.
Yeah.
wanted to see how it was going to land.
Yeah.
Wind
So
turbines are cool. They do scar the landscape, but it is a It's a necessity, sure.
Yeah.
But they're not. I'm just thinking of a report I saw a couple of years ago, because we got a lot of wind turbines in the sea around the UK, and they're just not producing what the business case thought they were going to produce.
no.
They are costing a lot more in maintenance. They're not generating as much energy. They're not as efficient as we thought.
Yeah.
And their lifespan is a lot shorter.
So
Partly because they're sitting in the sea.
as far as I remember, like South Africa's strategy is to have coal balancing the load until at least
Well, that's good for the coal mining industry.
At least until 2050, right? But there's going to be a growing presence of renewables in the mix, and there's obviously going to be nuclear power stations that's going to be built until 2050.
But on the fossil fuel side of things, what's South Africa's commitment to reducing carbon footprint? How does that affect what's happening at the moment?
So because we are a developing nation, we got a break until 2050 in terms of not increasing our
2050.
2050, yeah. Because a lot of the emerging nations, like South Africa and the rest of the African, we got sort of like a break according to the Paris Agreement, so we can use what we have without actually just increasing what we have. So we're not going to build any new thermal power stations, but we're going to maintain what we currently have at least until 2050.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And in addition to that, I know like a few people, I know a few basically newscasters that saying that we have about 3,000 or 4,000 nuclear engineers currently being trained in China.
Nuclear.
So that basically
South Africa's already got nuclear and it's old, so you kind of want to.
Yeah.
It's an obvious choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
there
we
you
have,
go.
and we have some really cool and exciting like renewable projects. Andrew sent me a news article about Anglo American partnering with a hugely successful European energy company, EDF, partly British owned and run by French government, with a very, very impressive balance sheet that will basically develop new hydrogen-based tech in South Africa. What?
No comment.
What? Why are you so surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised.
What's happening, guys?
Nothing. Just listening to your positive.
I think it's great.
I mean, it is exactly that. It's all good news. It's going the right direction. Whether it's going to cost what we think it's going to cost, whether it's going to be finished in time, those are the things we'll monitor.
But I mean,
because historically around the world,
things don't go according to plan.
But I think it's a move in the right direction. I mean,
absolutely.
I think it's a move. Yeah.
A bit like the Bearded Fen's Formula One fantasy team.
Yeah.
They do have their moments.
Oh, that's right.
Going backwards.
Keep an eye on
Why are you being so negative?
Going backwards.
Why are you guys being so negative?
It's not negative. It's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's awesome that we like experimenting with hydrogen fuel cells and hydrogen power. I mean, like, you're not going to find the formula straight away, right? Because we're in this energy transition, right? And we need to experiment in order to find a solution going forward. And I think for every country is going to be different, because that mix of base load balancing and percentage of renewables will be different, and renewables themselves going to be different. Like, I mean, UK has got a really good potential for wind, especially offshore.
Apparently so, but apparently it's not going according to plan.
No, just saying the infrastructure that has been built is vast, but it's not as efficient as we were expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It costs a lot to maintain. The lifespan is not expected to be what was originally thought.
Okay, so like
it's going to be unlike hydropower. The wind farms going to have to need constant reinvestment.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you build it, leave it alone, like minimal maintenance, and they would like just do their thing over the next 100 years.
Have you seen when the winds get too high, they actually turn them off?
Okay, so
Because otherwise they take off.
Because I've seen some photos of where the turbines have actually bent. The actual
wow, the
propellers,
actual like the
Yep.
actual
Propellers,
support structure.
no, the
Propeller.
the
fins.
the
Fence.
fins,
Wow, that's impressive.
the blades.
I saw some of them like in Spain, like how huge those fins are. It's just amazing. It's like those things are gigantic.
They
Yeah,
are big.
If you look in the Western Cape, they've also got a couple
Yeah, they do.
spotted around.
These farms out in sea, you can see them everywhere in the UK, but you don't realize how big those things are. I mean, they look big from a distance, but you don't know how far you are. But you're miles away.
Yeah.
It's only when you fly over them, which I tend to do, and you see the maintenance boat, which is not a small boat, and it's tiny. It's like an ant next to an elephant.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's a mouse next to an elephant, but they are big.
No, they're
They
huge.
are big.
They're huge.
Yeah. So moving on to anything interesting happening on this day in.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, let's run
dude.
through it very quickly. The first ever movie where Laurel and Hardy were together was on this day.
Oh,
Released the second 100 years, it was called 1927. On this day in 1971, John Lennon released his mega hit single, Imagine.
Oh wow.
So that's older than us, which I kind of knew, but I've always been in doubt because I sing along to it in the pub when I'm really drunk.
So that was 71.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's
Nice.
see what else we got. It's Sigourney Weaver's birthday today,
How old is she?
and that would have been my question.
go for it. Yes.
Sigourney Weaver.
It's a tough one.
It's a
I
tough
wasn't
one.
close.
I would think, like, look, I would think she's close to 70.
Yeah, I would
She's
go
70.
with 70.
She's 73.
Yeah, I would have gone with 70.
It's also Matt Damon's birthday. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon
Matt
must be
Damon.
in his like 50s, like late 50s.
He's 52.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't have said late 50s,
But 50s.
but I would have gone 50. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Bruno Mars, 37. It's also today.
yeah. Not bad, Bruno.
Not bad, Bruno.
I like Bruno. Anything else? Because last weekend we missed International Coffee Day and we missed International Podcast Day.
I think we're celebrating
Yes.
the International Coffee Day today.
Yeah. But I mean,
Well, you do that every
the
week. You
fact
can't
that,
do
the
that.
fact that we didn't even know
The
that
fact
it was,
that we celebrate the International Coffee Day every week does not negate.
It's International Coffee Year. Every year. All right, guys. I think you might like the national days today.
Okay, let's do it. Surprise us.
And I think you can celebrate at least one of these.
Okay.
Do you guys know what a fluffernutter is?
No.
No.
Okay. Oh, it's a very American thing. It started many years ago. They kind of developed this marshmallow spread for sandwiches, and you mix it with peanut butter. It's very sticky, very sweet.
Marshmallows
So
and peanut butter.
Marshmallow spread. So
Oh.
liquidized marshmallow as a spread.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's National Fluffernutter Day, and the reason they're having it as a day is because this has been around since the 1920s. This fluffernutter stuff, but people have had variations through the generations. They've added to it, add banana, add bacon. Anyway, so you could celebrate by getting all sticky today, but that's a very American thing. I would rather.
But Lester, do you get that in the UK as well?
Like many things, America does sneak in here. There's a lot of Americans living in the UK, and this kind of stuff does creep in. But it's not in my village, so I'm going to move on.
Okay, cool.
It's also Touch Tag Day. So we call it Last Touch. which you would have played in your school days, running around the school ground.
Yeah.
And you basically touch somebody and they're out, and the last person who hasn't been touched and tagged survives. Now, so today is one of those days of people of all ages can go and run around like mad things. Now, there's two things that grab me on this, because otherwise it would be boring. It's been around. Let me just find it. It's been around for a long time.
Like for the last 2,000 years.
It goes back to ancient Roman times. This is a game that was played by the Romans, and they've traced it.
Wow.
Okay, kind of makes sense because it's not like any some of the sports where you need equipment. It's just something that you do.
Need equipment.
Chasing the prostitutes around the back streets of Rome. Yeah.
Lost it.
But it's gone one step further here, and I'm sure it must happen in other places, is that there are societies where you sign up and you go and tag somebody with a Nerf gun or something. So
Gotcha.
it's like an assassin. Yeah. So you don't know who's coming for you. So you've got to be constantly vigilant.
Oh my God. You know, in this day and age, like,
It's like the game.
I wonder how many people are going to die because they think they're getting attacked and they're going to pull out a
and they run in front of a bus. Oh, I see.
Real
That's
firearm.
only in South Africa.
But that's that's mostly in the US. Mostly in the US, right?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
happens here. All right, guys. Here's one for you. Today you can celebrate National Motorcycle Ride Day.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
And to celebrate, we have a motorbike in the background. Just for effect.
We actually have two. Is it two?
I can only see
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the other
Oh,
one's-
there we go.
Yeah.
the
I can
one's
see
over.
the seat. All right, we'll give you that.
Nice.
So get out there and ride, basically, to celebrate the National Motorcycle Ride
I've done
Day.
my ride for the day.
Both
Where'd
of
you
you
go?
have.
Where'd you go?
I went to the shops.
Oh, yeah.
Keep groceries.
Nice.
The grocery run.
dude.
But I went
Nice.
on the old BM.
Is that why it's standing outside?
Is that what
That
we're
is
calling
correct.
it now? The old BM.
Yeah. We've got the new BM and the old BM. But the
I
new
see.
BM is an old BM, so well,
Exactly.
whatever. The older
The older BM.
the older BM.
The
vintage.
road bike and the off-road bike.
The
Yeah.
vintage. The vintage.
That's it. The classic and the
Oh,
Vintage.
I saw your bike this week.
which one?
I
The
was
GS.
in
The GS.
the GS.
You in
I was in
Germany.
Vienna,
Vienna. And
and yes,
how many did you see?
one.
Oh, just one.
Just I wasn't there
That
that
is
long.
shocking. Me, I'll go
And
out to the shop.
It was in pristine condition,
Oh.
parked outside of a golf course.
Wow. Wow.
So I don't know what they were thinking. Are they going to go into the? Actually, there was a big wood nearby, so maybe they were going in there.
But did you see,
But,
Lester, did you see any KTMs? Because like KTM is an Austrian brand.
Yeah.
I did see a lot of KTM's. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I saw a KTM shop, and yeah.
KTM is an Austrian brand. It's also quite big in SA, right? Well,
Yeah,
not,
I've
Yeah,
never
it
asked
is.
you guys about the KTM because you
Yeah.
you like to go and test drive various flavors of motorcycle.
Yes.
What is the brand KTM like in South Africa? How easy is it to come by?
Yeah, it's there. Got quite a few dealerships around
Yeah.
the country.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we went to test ride KTM on one occasion.
We did.
What that was an enduro version, right?
Yeah, we
two
did the
enduro
well.
versions.
Well, we did the adventure one. So
Yeah.
the 1190 adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work with I used to work with a guy who had a KTM and did a lot of long distance tours.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Mongolia
Mm-hmm.
and back.
Mhm.
Obviously, got to get home. Another one drove to Australia, or rode to Australia, should I say?
All the way
obviously
from
he has to
UK.
get- yeah, I mean it took him 3 months, but
Yeah. I could
That's
do
impressive.
that.
that's
dude.
tricky.
That's
That's tricky
impressive.
though.
It is.
I mean, surely it would have been cheaper to fly. I mean, I know you get jet lag
Probably.
and it's a long way to fly, but I mean, how
not
hard
as
must
fun.
your ass be to sit on
Yeah.
your saddle for 3 months?
I mean, you can even take the boat, right?
Sure, yeah.
What's wrong
Like,
with
if
you
you-
guys?
I mean, if you want to travel and travel in relative comfort, right, and want to make the journey out of it. I mean, I'm sure you can go by boat, like a cruise line or type of thing.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are missing the point.
Yeah. I know.
Happy National Motorcycle Ride Day.
Yes. I think we're going to end off on that. I'm like,
And on that bombshell.
I'm like,
And on that bombshell.
I'm like disturbed now.
You need to have words with yourselves.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have a word with him.
He's just going to listen to the sound of silence.
All right, that's enough.
Guys,
Okay.
guys, you know Disturbed, the sound of silence?
Yes.
Like-
Yes.
Yeah.
Here all weekend.
Yeah, all weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, well, we'll catch you next week.
Toodle pips.
93, 100's coming.
That disclaimer, I'm glad you did not fall asleep during this podcast.
Yeah,
He did.
the
Did you
coffee
not
kicked
see?
in, dude. The coffee kicked
No, he
in.
did.
eh?
He
We were
was...
talking about turbines. I did see his eyes closed there.
I think he just, like...
He went to
wa-
his happy place.
He went to his happy place and he imagined the motion of those blades. And then he's like, oh, shit.
Oh, yes. Just imagine if I was up there, clinging on for dear life.
Okay.